Friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates, welcome back to this episode of Bets and Buds. We're the Buds help you cash your bets. I'm Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Like.
Welcome back, everybody. Baseball is upon us. We had opening day yesterday. Cardinals pull out the victory to get the season started. Blues had a huge comeback win against the Preds last night. That was a huge win for their 8th win in a row. March Madness is still going on and kicking live. We had some really great games last night. Outside of Duke's ass kicking over in Arizona. You know, Texas Tech with an epic comeback against Arkansas killed my parlay, but you know what it is what it is. That's gambling, baby.
It's a good time of year.
Yes, it is a great time of year. It's a great time of year. So let's go ahead and dive into a little bit of that Blues hockey before we touch on the Cardinals.
All right, big news in Blues world today. Jimmy Snuggerud is leaving the University of Minnesota and signing his 3-year entry-level contract with the Blues. He will be at practice on Monday and possibly will get his first game in against Detroit on Tuesday.
And they got to beat Detroit because they are terrible.
They do. They're keeping up with that. Their schedule.
They got Colorado Saturday.
They got Colorado Saturday. He's definitely not going to be in that game. And then he'll be in practice Monday. They got Detroit, and then Pittsburgh, and then Colorado again. And then Minnesota or Winnipeg, which, I mean, that could potentially be your first-round matchup right there against Winnipeg.
Winnipeg started the season out. How would they start, like 14-0 or something?
They did. Edmonton, Seattle, and then Utah to kick off the schedule. Now, I said at the beginning of the year, I think you needed 94 to 95 points to get in. With 8 games to go, they're sitting at 85 points, and I do believe they've got to win 5 out of these next 8, if not 6, you know, because
I mean,
Calgary is not going away. Even though they did lose last night. Calgary did. It was a big loss by Calgary last night. So it's back to 3 games in hand the Calgary has 3 games in hand, but they're trailing by that 6 points.
Right. So I mean, that's the 3 games they need exactly.
Unfortunately, Minnesota won last night. We didn't get any help in that department, so we're still trailing Minnesota by 2 games with the 1 game in hand. So,
all right.
But there's a chance that we could sneak up into that other wild card spot, and then we would play in the Golden Knights as it sits right now.
Doesn't get any easier any way you look at it.
No, it doesn't. I mean, 7th, 8th seed, you're still going to have to battle your way through the playoffs. Now, in this 8-game stretch, we've won 8 games in a row, and they really are just – they had to battle last night. They came out, looked flat. They were down 2-0 and pulled out the 3-2 victory.
Had 2 goals in 22 seconds.
Yep. So, now with that victory, they sit at 39, 28, and 7, like I said, with 85 points. They are rolling.
Nice.
They are rolling with 8 games to go, and I just don't see anybody catching them. Like nobody's on fire like the Blues are right now.
Oh yeah, they get in. This is what you want. You got to be playing your best hockey during this time of year, going into playoffs.
The Kings are playing real well right now too.
I mean, they're essentially in playoff mode right now.
Yeah, they are. They're going to battle their way in there. So hopefully that first round matchup, you catch your break.
Yeah, get a hot team. Yeah, exactly.
Your leaders, as it stands with 8 games to go, you've got Kyrou, notched his 31st goal the other night. Thomas could potentially hit 50 assists for the season. He's got 47 right now. With 66 points for Thomas, he leads the team. And Broberg, plus 21 on the season.
Yeah, that was a great pickup.
You'd be surprised. Who do you think the second player would be in plus-minus this year? And it blew my mind. Jordan Kyrou.
I was going to say Kyrou.
Kyrou. He's been balling.
Yeah, he's starting to learn to play the full length of the ice.
He's playing 200-foot hockey right now, so it's working for him.
All right.
And, I mean, you're getting it from your backup goalie, too. Hofer, in this 8-game stretch, they've gone 1-for-1. Bennington's 4-0. Hofer's 4-0.
Hey, that's all you can ask for right there.
Yep.
All right. So then next up, we got the Cardinals, their debut of the season here. So it was, of course, it rained on opening day, like it always does. Like it always does. And today it was nice and sunny, and the sun was out, and felt good out.
It never fails.
It never fails. And then we, of course, get the Friday day off after the season, after the Thursday start.
Yep.
But the Cardinals, they looked good yesterday. I mean, for what it was worth, this game won after 162, so we got 161 more to go. But right now we're 1-0, undefeated at the top of the Central Division.
It was decent enough starting pitching. Gray was fine. I mean, he looked way better yesterday than he did at any time during the spring training.
And that's why you always have to take spring training with a grain of salt. Guys are working on things, approaches, all that type of stuff. Just like Victor Scott swinging a hot bat, and I needed one freaking hit from him yesterday to get hit my parlay. Because I called the Bader home run. Like I said, revenge game for Bader, got that. They were minus almost half a negative run in the first 5, so I only needed 1 run, which I got that easy. But, of course, Victor Scott went over 4, but hopefully that's not a trend for the whole season.
He did this last year, too, at the beginning. Or he had a great spring training. They held him out of camp, and then he was atrocious.
Yeah, then he got sent back down. So let's hope that's not the case this year.
Hopefully not.
Lars Nootbaar started off, got his first home run of the season. Yes. A couple of hits during the course of that game. So, I mean, let's see. Hopefully it's no drought in the offense. I think Nolan had a hit or so yesterday too. Mm-hmm. So
home run and
home run. Yeah, exactly. So that was pretty much the game winner at the end there because it was for 5-4 finish.
5-3 game.
Oh yeah, 5-3. Yeah, but that was the sealer though for you.
Yes, it was because Helsley came in and he was just dominating. Yeah, 3 strikeouts, 3 batters faced, 3 strikeouts.
Again, and that's what we talked about with him was a drop off in velocity in spring training. But of course, you saw he looked like the Helsley we saw last year. So.
Now, the biggest thing with this Cardinals team, it is going to be your starting pitching because you've got Fetty starting tomorrow, and then you've got Michaelis following that up, and then you've got arguably your best pitcher down the stretch last year, but he also had a terrible spring training with Palante.
Right.
Down the stretch last year,
Palante was solid. He was coming with big starts.
And then you've got Libator who's getting his shot this year to be that 5th starter, and with Matz going to the bullpen as your long guy.
Yeah, I just don't believe in Libator. But I hope he surprises me this year.
He had a great season out of the bullpen last year, which is surprising that they went this route.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to get it going as a starter. But
no, he really doesn't.
Let's see.
He's had, I think, a flash in the pan game or 2 over his career.
His problem is always usually second time through the lineup. They got to beat on him, and they kind of pick him up. So we'll see. Like I said, hopefully he's learned some things, gotten a little bit older, being a little bit more of a veteran. So, the team hopefully can be fun to watch. Jordan Walker got a hit yesterday.
Yes, he did. Wilson Contreras did not look terrible at first base. He roamed out into the outfield early.
I think he'll be fine at first base.
He looked a little surprised if you watched it on the camera. He was like, "Whoo, man, I'm glad I got that one."
It's just a different perspective all of a sudden. He's going to be catching it from first base as opposed to behind the home plate. So. I'd say we got a long way to go. 161 to go. 1-0 for the Cardinals. Let's go Cards.
Let's go Cards.
All right. So let's dive into this March Madness here because it's been exciting now that we got down to the Sweet 16.
Has it really been exciting, though?
Well, the first part wasn't, but now I think we're going to get into a good matchups.
Yeah, you're going to get into some good matchups.
Yeah, we're going to get into some good matchups.
And as long as you're a Texas Tech fan, that was really exciting last night.
Screwed me on my parlay, I tell you what. But, we got Florida still looking like the way. They beat that tough Maryland team. They look like the wagon I said they were going to be on.
That's who I've got picked here on my sheet.
Yep, and Bama looked amazing. They scored over 100 points against BYU. They actually hit the over-under on that game, which was 175.5.
Oh, wow.
That was a high over-under, but Bama damn near they got well over half of it themselves. So, and BYU wasn't a slouch on it either because I think they put up 90 points. So that was a good good call for anybody who hit the over on that one. Duke dominated Arizona, pretty much dominated. Yeah. Cooper Flagg, best player in college basketball. I didn't really watch a lot of college basketball during the season because of this football season and everything else that's going on. And I hate Duke, so I really wasn't watching him.
I'm not a big Duke fan.
But Cooper Flagg is the best player in college basketball and will be the number 1 overall pick in the NBA
draft. Does he turn into another J.J. Redick or something?
Oh, no.
Christian Laettner?
No. This dude is 6'9", man. He can dribble. He's got he assists. I think his line was like 30 points. I don't know if it was last the game, but I think like the game before he had 30 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 steals. He does so many things to affect the game. He's the comparison I actually heard him to. You remember Tom Chambers for the white dude who played for the Phoenix Suns back in like the late 80s, early mid 90s. He would do, because Chambers would come in the rim and he would yam on you, man. That's like Cooper Flagg. So he's got that. He's got that game. He's just all the way around.
Duke is the favorite right now, plus 175 to win it all.
Yeah, they are the favorite, and they got a good squad. So, like I said, it depends on how they all match up and how they fall. So tonight we got Auburn versus Michigan. Auburn is favored by 8.5 points. I actually like Michigan.
I've got Michigan in this game. I've got Michigan going on.
Yeah, I like Michigan in this game here. Auburn really hasn't played that great at basketball. They've been one of the top seeds all season long.
Right. Who they played? Nobody.
Yeah, they really haven't played anybody yet. And I said, again, they haven't really looked good in this tournament. And then they lost the last 2 out of 3 games at the end of the season. Then we got Ole Miss at Michigan State. Michigan State is favored by 3.5, even though they're they're the higher seed in this game. But I actually like Michigan State. Izzo has the boys buzzing right now, and I like the way they've been really playing basketball.
I had a Michigan State tournament or a meeting set up in the round of 8 from the beginning.
Yep, that's why I needed Arkansas to win last night, and my parlay would still be alive. It'd still be alive. All right, so then next up we got Houston at Purdue. Houston is playing at their 8.5-point favorites.
Yep.
I like Houston to get this game here. They're just a really solid team all the way up and down. A lot more athletic than what Purdue is. They got a really good perimeter game, good defense. So.
Well, they have the third best odds right now, plus 550. So
yeah. Yes, I mean, Houston's got. I think that's going to be a tough out for Purdue. And then again, this is going to be, for me, probably the game of the night, and that's Kentucky and Tennessee.
Yes,
I think these two teams split during the regular season. I mean, it was a really good competitive game, I think, both times. Kentucky, Tennessee, they're evenly matched. Tennessee probably is a little bit bigger than what Kentucky is as far as on their front line. Not that they play that way anymore because everybody does find moving parts. Type of thing. But either way, still when it comes to rebounding and length on defense and everything like that.
Hybrid basketball. Now.
Yeah, exactly. But Tennessee, I think I'm leaning more towards Tennessee in this game.
I've got Tennessee moving on.
They're 4.5-point favorites. I like Tennessee. So the only real upsets that I saw in this one was going to be Michigan beating Auburn. So then that'll bring us up to the Elite Eight. We'll be ready for the Elite Eight.
We'll be there. What next? It's the next. Just
now
weekend, it's Saturday.
I think we go. It's Saturday.
It's Saturday.
It's Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and
Sunday. Yeah, it'll be Saturday and Sunday. And then by then we'll know the final.
We'll know the Final Four by the time.
Yeah, we'll know the Final Four by Monday, and then after that, then we got Saturday. I think we'll play to the Final Four games, and then Monday night, they do the championship, and we'll wrap up that college basketball season.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Mizzou got some bad news this week. Aiden Shaw is transferring out for his senior season. I mean, the season's not even over, and you guys got saying they're going to hit the transfer portal.
That's the problem, man. Like, there's no reason why the transfer portal should even be active right now while the March tournament is still going on.
You wouldn't think so. I mean,
but it was the same thing in college football though too. I mean, like you had guys like Penn State, like that got the quarterback that transferred the backup from Mizzou. He's in Mizzou now.
Now he's going to be the starter.
Yeah, he's going to be starting quarterback in Mizzou supposedly, as long as he wins out the job. But he had to leave during the playoff game, basically, to get in the transfer portal.
He was getting in the transfer portal.
Yeah, because he was going in the transfer portal, and they knew he was leaving, so like here you go.
Give us their playbook back.
Yeah, I mean, like in the middle of a playoff run. I mean, that should not happen. So hopefully, when they go through, I get their hearing in April here, and they kind of put some more parameters and rules behind this, like not just capping it off to $20 million per university and all that stuff. More the fact that you also have, like, let's change this portal time, man. They got to have some rules where it's not just Wild West free agency. And it was interesting listening to an interview with John Calipari who was talking about that. The fact that now you got, like, because with this whole portal thing, because of the NIL and guys staying, there's like 700 to 800 high school basketball players that aren't getting D1 scholarships that are D1 players because they just don't have the spots for them.
Right.
There's so many coaches, like, I mean, you listen to like Rick Pitino, and he's like, I'm not even recruiting high school kids really anymore. I mean,
no, you're just looking for somebody that's got a little experience, you get support, wanting to move colleges.
Yeah, I mean, you get some of those, and that's why you didn't see a lot of upsets this year. Because all you guys that balled at the mid majors, oh yeah, come on, we'll give you 1.5 and you'll be our starter here at Florida or at Illinois. I mean, it's like you're getting like all these mid majors that like the George Masons and the Loyolas, Chicago's. Yeah, I mean that we saw a nice Cinderella. So I mean, you'll probably get a few here or there to still pop back up, but it's gonna be tough sledding for the little guys.
It's mostly
now.
from winning their tournaments.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's tough sledding for the little guys now.
It
really
is. Yeah, it was. I'll tell you, I'm not a great basketball picker by any means, but I've missed 7 games, and that's it.
Yeah, because when you go in favorites, man, I mean, there's so many people that are like still in like 85 to 90th percentile in their wins or their brackets because that's what happens when you still got all the 1 seeds still alive.
Yeah, I have potentially I'll have 7 of the 8. Elite 8 if everything plays out right tonight, and that's never happened.
You got 4 1 seeds involved still right now between Kentucky and Tennessee. You got Michigan. You got 2 2s. You got 2 3s left with Texas Tech moving on. So I mean, like, so the lowest seed that went out was the highest seed. I mean, it was Arkansas last night.
They're
the 10
gone
seed.
with a 10,
and so they're gone. So I mean, like I said, you're pretty much looking at 1 through 6 seeds right now that's left in the postseason. So
that is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild. It's never been like this top heavy as far as a March Madness bracket that I've ever seen. So we'll see what the future holds. But,
we will.
We'll see. We'll have some good games if you wrap this tournament up.
Yeah, it is crazy. I've never seen that. I usually 3 or 4.
Oh yeah, you got like 2. At least one region has been blown up already by now, but most people's is still intact. All right, so then Don't really have a whole lot on the NFL front right now.
The only thing we got Wilson signing with the Giants. Yep. You had Stephon Diggs sign a contract with the Patriots. Yep. I don't know if that knee's going to hold up.
I think he'll be all right. I mean, it was week 8. They do so many wonders. I saw workout videos with him, man. He's already working out. Yeah, right. I mean, he's already working out.
I mean, that's a big addition for them. A veteran wide receiver in that room.
Yeah,
will go a long way.
2 former Buffalo Bills. You got Mac Hollins and
Hollins. I forgot about Hollins.
Yeah, so those young guys that they asked to have to step up last year, they could actually take a little backseat role and have a
because they've drafted some wide receivers in the last few years. They had 2 rookies. One in first and second round.
Yeah, I mean they had 2 receivers. They just didn't really have a lot of run last year because of course quarterback change, offensive system questions, and all that stuff like that. But at least now you got some veterans there. They don't have as much pressure to make plays. They just kind of come along as the 3rd and 4th receiver in that offense. So that's all we got with football because we're still just waiting on Aaron Rodgers.
We are just waiting on Aaron Rodgers. And I feel sorry for you, Pittsburgh.
You know what? It's fine. What's the hurry? Honestly, there's no OTAs coming up.
I don't think the Pittsburgh fan nation wants him at all.
Oh, yeah, because they get pissed off, man. Because, the Steelers are a very uppity fan base when it comes to we're the Steelers. You either you want to be a Steeler or you don't want to be a Steeler. And, that type of thing. I mean, what's his name? Cam Hayward.
It is definitely that hometown vibe. Like, you got to be in the culture.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, because it's more that's probably more than any program.
Like a Packers.
Yep.
Like the Packers.
But nobody has more like a fraternity like Pittsburgh, man. Like, all those old players still come back to this day, man. Like, I think because of how few coaches that they had there. So there's such little turnover in the organization.
It's been crazy. What, 3 coaches?
3 coaches in franchise history. I mean, that's insane. So I mean, that's the thing. You got like so many players feel like they can go back and walk in that building and still be the building they remember.
Right.
Because sometimes you go to some organizations like look at like Seattle when they made their coaching change, fire Pete Carroll. They scrubbed all the Legion of Boom shit off the walls and everything like that. I mean, because some GMs they come in and say, all right, this is my franchise now. I got to put a stamp on it. We're going to erase it and forget all this old shit. Although, you should really learn to build off of that because that's how you establish culture in your team to say, no, we win around here. Like, look at the wall. Look at these walls. You don't want to be on these walls, but sometimes some guys' egos are a little bigger than what they should be. But that's why they get to those jobs usually most of the time.
How you get there.
Yeah,
don't mean you're going to keep it, but you got there.
Yep. So, all right.
That's all I got, brother.
Yeah, that's all we got, man. So you guys keep following along. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and add to the comment section. We'll keep providing some content for you here, covering all these favorite sports, the action that's going on.
There's MotoGP.
MotoGP this Saturday in America. Yes, what time does it start? 1 o'clock?
Good for you, Dave.
What is it, 11 o'clock Central?
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. All right. We'll try and get to it.
We know what Director Dave will be watching.
And we got 4 weeks to the draft, so.
Yeah, 4 weeks to the draft, so we'll start diving into some of that coverage. But I'm Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
See you next week.
Peace.